Hi everyone, Patrick here. Welcome to SFF Spotlight episode 72. As I always say here, because we are in the month of October already, we don't have a lot of episodes left in the year 2024, and I will do my best in the remaining episodes of the year. And before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much to all of you who watched my review on The Devils. Spoiler-free review on The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. It means a lot to me, and many of you said nice thing about it, and it kind of rejuvenated my interest to post more reviews on my YouTube channel. Again, hopefully I can find a lot of great books to share with many of you. But with that in mind, let's get started on today's episode, shall we? For those of you who are new here, this is a series of videos where I usually talk about new book news, new cover reveals, new special edition, and new Kickstarter campaign, plus new noteworthy release in the adult science fiction and fantasy genre. Let's get started by talking about art reveal first. I only have two to spotlight here. The first one is for Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson. This is the fifth novel in the Stormlight archive, and recently Thor Books and Dragonsteel, they have revealed the final Endpaper, and of course, just like the previous books in the Stormlight archive, they are absolutely gorgeous, illustrated by Donato Giancola and also Miranda Meeks. I feel that these Endpapers are so fitting to be the concluding Endpapers to the first phase of the Stormlight archive. I have no idea whether these Endpapers will appear in the UK hardcover or not, but it will definitely appear in the US hardcover, and that's the edition that I'm getting for sure. And yeah, I look forward to reading Wind and Truth. Obviously, it is my most anticipated book of this year. And then after that, we have the second book in the Kraken Rider Z. This is a cover reveal by Daniel Kamarudin with a design by Sean T. King and published by Wraithmarked Creative. This is the second book, as I said, in the Kraken Rider Z, a progression fantasy series about a dragon rider fighting against a Kraken rider. And the title of this book is Thunder Kraken. I haven't got a chance to read the first book yet. The first book is titled Kraken Rider Z as well, but this cover art, I think it is absolutely incredible. Look at this angle. This is not an easy angle to pull off in the cover art, and Daniel Kamarudin did it, and I think that is an incredible feat. And I look forward to reading this series. I have read the Patterns trilogy by Dyrk Ashton, and this one is written together with David Estes, the author behind the Fatemarked series and many other books. And yeah, I look forward to reading this series. If you have read Kraken Rider Z, do let me know what you think about it. And speaking of Wraithmarked, let's move on to talk about some Kickstarter campaign, shall we? And the first one is, of course, for Bookshops and Bonedust by Travis Baldree. I think some of you might know that Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree, the Deluxe hardcover edition by Wraithmarked, is one of the best production from Wraithmarked so far. Probably the best production, really. It comes with an illustration by Justin Gerard and of course designed by Sean T. King. The typography and the internal format is done by Sean T. King, and once again, as I said, the cover art, the Endpaper, and every artwork inside this edition, it is done by Justin Gerard, one of the best artists, especially if you love this kind of artwork and also Tolkien. Yeah, Tolkien Legendarium, you have to check out Justin Gerard. He has done some truly fantastic artwork on Tolkien stuff. And yeah, Bookshops and Bonedust. This edition, it is, of course, comes with a Smithsonian binding, thick and premium acid-free paper. And I think overall, it is just a beautiful production, an absolutely beautiful production. Justin Gerard's artwork, it fits the Legends and Latte series, and Wraithmarked did such an incredible job in choosing Justin Gerard as the illustrator behind the editions of Legends and Lattes and also Bookshops and Bonedust. I mean, look at that. It is adorable and also at the same time so gorgeous. And yeah, of course, the Kickstarter campaign has been funded already, but there are still some stretch goals to meet. So make sure to check out the Kickstarter campaign. And I want to say, once again, thank you so much to Wraithmarked for sponsoring today's SFF Spotlight episode. And if you want to check out a lot of gorgeous and beautiful produced book, make sure to check out Wraithmarked Creative Production. They have produced a lot of great books, really, especially for self-published and indie fantasy novels. Speaking of indie fantasy novels Kickstarters, well, the next few topics, the next few Kickstarter campaigns, they are all handled by Merrick Books. And yeah, there are a lot of Kickstarter campaigns to spotlight in today's episode. So let's get started immediately. The first one is for Benjamin Ashwood by A.C. Cobble. This is the first book in the Benjamin Ashwood series. And some of you might know A.C. Cobble as the creator of Merrick Books, or maybe the author behind the War Heights series, which is now, I think, 4 books long. And yeah, AC Cobble is the man behind Merrick Books, and he's handling every one of this indie fantasy Kickstarter production and also shipping. And now he's going back to his root. Benjamin Ashwood is his first epic fantasy novel, and it's getting a deluxe edition with the cover art by Rachel St. Clair and also Endpaper artwork by Joe Requeza. And this beautiful Endpaper artwork will be used for the new paperback edition of Benjamin Ashwood as well. It is hard to decide. I really like the hardcover edition, but I think the paperback edition with the cover art by Joe Requeza looks beautiful as well. And I haven't read this series yet, but I believe this is a classic epic fantasy with a modern voice. And yeah, I think right now it's funded already, but again, there are still some stretch goals to meet. So if you feel yourself interested in this one, make sure to check out the Kickstarter campaign as well. And for the next one, this is not live yet. This is for the Fatemarked series by David Estes. This is for the entire series. And yeah, this is also with the cover art by Rachel St. Clair, and this is going live on the 8th of October. So yeah, that's about a few days from now. So just like Benjamin Ashwood, this one has plenty of illustrations already revealed by David Estes, and all of these illustrations are done by Joe Requeza and also Andrew Maleski. And I look forward to the launching day of this Kickstarter campaign. Just like the next one I'm going to mention briefly. This is for the Siege of Shadows, the third and the final book in the Keeper Chronicles trilogy by Janice Andrews. And this will conclude the trilogy of beautiful deluxe hardcover edition from Janice Andrews and also handled by Merrick Books. This is launching on the same day as Fatemarked series by David Estes. I will make sure to leave the link to the Kickstarter campaign in the description down below. And I still have 3 more Kickstarter campaigns to spotlight today. The next 2 is still done by Merrick Books, and for the next one, this is for the second book in the Legend of Tal series, A Queen's Command by J.D.L. Rossell. And yeah, this is, I think, the second book out of 5 books, if I'm not mistaken. And again, similar to the previous Kickstarter campaign I spotlighted, the cover art is done by Rachel St. Clair, and this one features an interior artwork by Joe Requeza, Daniel Kamarudin, and of course, Renee Eichner, because Renee Eichner is the illustrator behind the standard paperback edition of the Legend of Tal series. And I have featured the Legend of Tal on my SFF Spotlight videos plenty of times. So yeah, as always, I will make sure to leave the link to the Kickstarter campaign in the description down below. And for the next one, after that, I will talk about the last Kickstarter campaign in today's episode. This is for the second Omnibus Deluxe edition of the Frith Chronicles by Shami Stovall. And I actually just received the first Omnibus edition of this deluxe hardcover edition, and my God, Shami Stovall, she really went all out on this production. I'm talking about 70. Yeah, the first Omnibus edition actually contains 70 fully colored art. And I'm speechless. That is incredible. 70 fully colored art on one thick Omnibus hardcover. It is amazing. It is an amazing feat, and I like to applaud Shami Stovall for this. I think when an author is willing to pour everything into making sure their books is produced as best as possible, I have to give an applause and I have to support them. And this is a great example of that. And for the book itself, for the stories, I believe this is Pokemon inspired in the coming of age and also magical school academy. So I look forward to reading that. It sounds like it will be suitable to my reading taste. And finally, for the last Kickstarter campaign I want to spotlight today, this is for the Unavowed anthology edited by Sean Spickman. This anthology of short stories, well, the total word count, it exceeded 200,000 words, and it is written by 20 authors at least, or maybe about 20 authors, and those authors are some of the best self-published fantasy authors such as M.L. Wang, and then Zach Argyle, Ryan Cahill, Janice Andrews, Andy Peliquin, and the list goes on and on. Seriously, yeah, 200,000 word count. So it is a big anthology, and it is edited by Sean Spickman, the man behind Grim Oak Press. And yeah, the Kickstarter campaign has been fully funded. I think it reached 100,000 US dollars in the first 12 hours. So yeah, that is impressive. But that's it for the coverage on the Kickstarter campaign. Yeah, that was a lot, I know. And believe me, when I was compiling this into this video, I was shocked by how many Kickstarter campaign is going on at the moment or about to launch. But now let's talk about some special editions. And speaking of Grim Oak Press, I just want to spotlight this a bit. Grim Oak Press just announced their special editions that is going live on the 4th quarter of this year, and it contains some amazing titles such as The Magicians by Lev Grossman's. Even though that book is not suitable for me, I know that there are plenty of fans for that book. And then, of course, one of the most important one, for me anyway, it is To Green Angel Tower. Yeah, To Green Angel Tower by Tad Williams, Siege and Storm. And this one features this gorgeous and epic cover art by Donato Giancola. I already own the Dragonbone chair and also Stone of Farewell, so I obviously look forward to this one as well. But speaking of To Green Angel Tower, now let's move on to talk about the Broken Binding edition, shall we? And this is, of course, again for To Green Angel Tower, but this one features a cover art by Jeff Brown and with an art direction from me. I am really happy with the result here. I want this one to be the most epic out of all the 4 cover art, but I want this one to be in conversation with the cover art of To Green Angel Tower Siege. So Hey definitely will have to be in the cover art of To Green Angel Tower Siege and of course To Green Angel Tower Storm as well. And the first one is The Calm and Before the Storm. And I hope many of you love the result of the cover art of these 4 books or this trilogy. But yeah, this was months of brainstorming and making sure the details are as correct as possible, but still pretty damn cool. That's my intention anyway, and I hope me and Jeff Brown managed to get that. Jeff Brown is really, really good, and I've been a fan of Jeff Brown's illustrations for many years now, so it has always been a pleasure to work with him. And moving on to the next Broken Binding Spotlight, this is again a few art reveal from Ryan Cahill. And this is obviously for Ryan's edition of Darkness and Light, the Broken Binding Press edition, with an interior artwork, a fully colored interior artwork by Renee Eigner with an art direction by me and also Ryan Cahill. The fully colored art here, this is of Vindakur by Renee Eigner, and with the black and white art, this is by Joe Requeza. The title of this piece is Fate, and I am super happy with both of this result. But for Fate 1, I think this is something, again, just like Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn, and also the Three Body Problem trilogy. This one, the scene is so vivid in my mind. I definitely wanted this to be a view from the perspective of the coin, because this coin, it means so much to decide the fate of a lot of people. And if you have read this series, you will know the significance of this coin. And I want this artwork to be viewed from the perspective of the coin. I think Joe Requeza definitely nailed this piece. Onward to the next one. This is about Day of the Dragon. This is hosted by Ryan Cahill, Michael Miller, and also Philip C. Quenchell. And this year, Andy Palaquin, Quenby Olson, and also Janice Andrews will be participating. And in, well, this year's anniversary for the Day of the Dragon, all of their books, more than 30 books, will be priced at 99 cents. And yeah, that's 35 books priced at 99 cents, only for Amazon US and Amazon UK though, if I'm not mistaken. Plus, there will be merchandise as well. And well, there are some really big news coming on the 10th of October. And for the next one, this is not actually a Broken Binding edition. This is a deluxe edition from the publisher, Saga Press. This is for The Will of the Many by James Islington, with a new cover art by Jamie Jones. But this one, this is signed edition, and Broken Binding is providing you the option to order this new deluxe edition, but signed by James Islington himself. And yeah, I will make sure to leave the link to pre-order this in the description down below. I, for one, cannot wait to own this new cover edition of The Will of the Many, because I think it is so much more better than the previous cover art. And moving on to the next one, still on the topic of publishers' new special edition, this is for the Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin, a new deluxe hardcover and also slipcase edition. So yeah, this is getting a new treatment, and with the cover art, a new cover art by Justin Sherry, and also art direction and art design by Lauren Pane Pinto. Or maybe, if I'm not mistaken, this artwork is only on the slipcase, but the hardcover itself will get a new artwork, a new foil artwork. But again, I could be wrong about this. But this one comes with the new gilded edges and also silver foiling on the front cover. But yeah, it is, I think, the first, not counting the Curious King edition, but I think this is the first hardcover edition for the Broken Earth trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. Again, not counting fan press such as Subterranean Press or the Curious King. And moving on to the next one, this is for The Lord of the Rings. Yeah, The Lord of the Rings by Tolkien. The new Deluxe slipcase edition is available now if you're in the USA. And I think this one will be similar to the Folio Society edition, the limited edition by Folio Society in terms of specs and also color plates. I'm not sure yet because I haven't really checked into this, but if you are a die-hard Tolkien fans and you want to own an even more expensive and more prestige edition, then this edition might be it. If you own a copy of this one already, do let me know what you think about it. Do you think this is the best Tolkien's edition for The Lord of the Rings or not? Or maybe the title still belongs to the Folio Society. But finally, on the last topic of special editions, this is of course for the king of special and fine press in the fantasy genre, in my opinion. Of course, Curious King. And Curious King just announced their details for The Fall of Hyperions by Dan Simmons. And once again, this absolutely masterful and incredible edition will be illustrated by Jamie Jones. It comes with 8 color illustrations and more than 20 black and white illustrations. Pretty much the same specs as Hyperion, the first book in the Hyperion Cantos by Dan Simmons. But this one features a silver color rather than blue, a silver or gray. I cannot really tell here from the image, but I bet as far as quality goes, this is Curious King we're talking about. And this is a very pricey edition. I'm not actually sure whether this will actually go on general sale or not, which will take place on the 20th of October. But for those who own the first book, the Hyperion by Dan Simmons, the Curious King edition, they will be able to order this one on the 18th of October. So if you are a die-hard fans of the Hyperion Cantos and you want to own the Ultimate Edition of the series, well, this is your chance. I have the fortune of owning the Blade itself and the 5th season Curious King edition, and I can definitely tell you that they are the best books in terms of production value in my collection of books, like really at the top. And that's it on the coverage of special edition and Kickstarter campaign. I still have 4 topics to spot at today. And for the next 3, these are anime and manga stuff. The first one is about Furiren Season 2. It has been announced as Furiren Season 2 has been announced, so I think that is good news. I really enjoyed Season 1, although at first I think it was slightly overrated, but at the same time, after I finished watching it, I cannot stop thinking about it. It is such a great show. So I definitely will have to watch Season 2 as well. I haven't read the manga past where Season 1 ended, so I still have no idea what's going to happen in the remaining of the story, which I believe is still ongoing to this day. And speaking of ongoing series, Hunter x Hunter is coming back. Yeah, Hunter x Hunter manga is coming back really soon. And with that news, Hunter x Hunter, the 3-in-1 edition is also being produced and is going to be published really soon. So yeah, a lot of great news for Hunter x Hunter fans. As for me, I'm a huge fan of the anime. I think the anime is one of the top I think it is in my top 10 anime of all time. And I know that is a really tough pick, but right now on the spot, I think Hunter x Hunter is one of them. But I don't know, maybe that list will change. No idea when Hunter x Hunter is going to end, though. Hopefully it will come to an ending, a satisfying ending someday. And speaking of satisfying ending, Jujutsu Kaisen, the manga, has ended, and I felt mixed about this ending. Not gonna lie, there are still so many questions unanswered, and I hope at the very least the anime adaptation will be able to deliver a better job at making the ending feels more satisfying at the very least. I know that for me, Death Note, the anime, it has a better ending compared to the manga. And of course, the same for Shingeki no Kyojin, Attack on Titan. I think the anime did a better job at doing the ending than the manga, in my opinion. Anyway, so yeah, now we're on to the final topic, last but not least, and probably the most important one. This is for the charity for Howard Andrew Jones. For those of you who don't know, Howard Andrew Jones is the author behind the Unavowed, Chronicles, and also many other books, really. And well, unfortunately, he has released news about his situation, about his health, and he has mentioned that he has terminal cancer. And according to the doctors, it is fatal. And Howard Andrew Jones mentioned in the blog post that he's trying to do the best with what time he has left. And with that in mind, there's a charity right now for his family. And for those of you who are a fan of his books and you want to help his family, then I will leave the link to the charity in the description down below. And if you're a fan of his books, maybe give more of his books a read. I know that I will read the Unavowed Chronicles sooner than I expected, and I know that's a bad thing, really. It shouldn't take something like this for this series to shot up my priority list, but at the same time, I have so many books in my priority list. And yeah, as I said, make sure to check out the charity link in the description down below. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today's episode of SFF Spotlight. Yeah, that's a lot of topics, especially on the regard of Kickstarter campaign and special editions. I think as the end of the year is approaching, there will be a lot of announcements when it comes to special editions. And yeah, just like usual, do let me know what you think about all the news that I spotlighted in today's episode in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching and thank you for your support. Bye bye. Lastly, I want to say thank you so much once again to all my patrons who keep on supporting me.